Assalamu alaikum. My name is Fajar Noor, and I have the privilege of interviewing Miss Mussarat Shahid. Miss Mussarat Shahid is an empowering persona with an immense wealth of experience. As we delve into our conversation, we're going to explore the impact of family support in the lives of professional females in Pakistan. So, without a further ado, let's begin our conversation. Miss Mashadi, how are you?
Assalamu alaikum. I'm
Walaikum
good.
salam.
And thank you very much for having me over. So
It's
I
a
hope
pleasure.
that whatever I say is helpful for your research.
Surely it will be. Shall we start?
Yes, sure. Go ahead.
So, before getting directly into the conversation, I want to know a little about your family background. Where do you belong to? What sort of family structure is it?
My family, I have got four kids, two boys, two girls.
Okay.
And I come from Karachi. After my marriage, I shifted to Lahore. And it's been like 45 years that I've been married now. And so when I got married, I was 19 and I was just an intermediate. When I turned 40 and my kids were a little grown up, that was when I did my graduation. And then from there onwards, I started work. So we were in a joint family system here in Lahore, a huge family, and we were all living together. So that's
Was your family not supportive of education and all? Like, were they in interest of marriage over education?
okay. So my parents, yes, all my three brothers were sent to US for their studies, and although I was always a topper in my school, in my intermediate, but my parents thought that girls must get married and start their lives as soon as possible. Their rationale, which I to some degree agree with now, and even then I did, that when girls get married early, the kind of culture we have to face, young married girls adjust to that new culture faster than if you grow, if you are of a age where it's difficult for you to adjust yourself
True.
to a new structure, family structure. So the same I did with my daughters. So I don't have any complaints.
I want to know about your educational background. How did the journey move forward after BA?
Okay, so for after BA, then as I said, I enrolled in the ELT, Kinnaid College Master's
Okay.
program. So I continued teaching in the morning. This was an afternoon program,
Okay.
and they had classes twice a week. So I used to go to Kinnaid um, twice every week. But in that time, I got promoted as headmistress of one of the Beacon House schools. So this was the fourth year with Beacon House that I was there, and they gave me a branch, Pico Road, 69K actually. It was Model Town branch. Now it has merged into Pico Road branch. So I came to be the head of that branch, and I continued from there my ELT journey. And once I completed my ELT, I had a distinction. I got the governor scholarship on that. So got all my fees back, and then I was once again promoted and sent to the regional office as director academics, so deputy director academics for the central region. So I was
Nice.
managing 16 schools, English, language training, all of that for the next 3 years.
Did you?
And then Beacon House got me enrolled into masters in school administration at Beacon House National University. So I did that, and then I did my so then I earned the scholarship and I went to UK and did my PG cert from University of Exeter. So that was a postgraduate certification in professional development.
That's such an interesting journey.
Yeah. But then I continued to work at different schools. Um, and 2018, when I was at Beacon House Newlands, so I had
Yeah.
joined Newlands in 2013 end, and 2018 I applied to Cambridge for an MPhil, and I got the admission. So 5 years, roughly 5 years, I headed the Beacon House Newlands campus in Lahore.
Yes.
From there, then I went to Cambridge, did my MPhil, came back and joined FC.
What did you notice as you advanced in your, like roles and positions? How did you have to differ to meet the criteria or the requirements?
It was a continuous battle, it was a continuous learning journey. I had to upgrade my skills. There was a time when I was saying, when I started my ELT,
Yeah.
at that time, you people wouldn't even know how the email worked. You know, it's not, it didn't used to be that instant. I used to be afraid of the mouse. So I never. So my father had bought me a typewriter when I was in grade 8. I was always very good with typing and stuff, but that was a typewriter.
Yeah.
So I used to typing on a typewriter, and then this desktops came along, and I used to be very afraid of. So what I learned, and then we had these floppy disks. So I used to, get all my papers that I would write on those floppy disks, and there were so many times, and though by the time I reached my, the person to get it printed, the floppy disk was corrupt. So lost a lot of data. So there was a lot of learning, and you slowly and steadily upgraded my skills. And now, Allah ka shukar hai, I'm savvy with the computer and things are
That's
better.
good. In general, do you think the level of family support influences career choices for females?
I don't think so.
It doesn't.
No, I think it's the person who matters the most. If they want to do something, they're passionate. It's not just with me. Both my daughters, I got them married after they had done their A level, and one is in London now, one is in US now. They both completed um, bachelors and then their masters, and they both are working. They both have done really good for themselves. So the eldest daughter is now 20 years into her marriage, 22 years of her marriage. And she did her bachelor's in mathematics, then master's in mathematics. She's heading a school in London, Kingsmead School. She's the math head of that school. She teaches further math, A level, and so I think I don't think that anybody can stop you from doing something if you're really passionate about doing stuff for yourself.
But here in Pakistan, particularly, families, when a child is born, for example, like a girl is born, they want their daughter to be a doctor. And then if it's a son, then they want them to do engineering. Do you not think that influences
Well,
children?
Fajar, you know what? I have a different opinion on this.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think uh, this is more in you hear these things about what parents want for their daughters and sons more in movies and dramas. In real life families, this doesn't happen. Yeah, what happens is what happened to me and my sister and my cousins,
Yeah.
that parents do want that their girls should get married early. As soon as there is a good rishta, a good proposal, okay, marry them off. That is what most of the families here in Pakistan are looking for. And I don't blame them. I think that is a reasonable expectation because it's the culture that we live in this culture, if a girl reaches a particular age, and she's only studying, you know what people say? They may say that, oh, she never got any rishtas.
Yeah.
Nobody came for a proposal. And so there are chances that that girl might never get married. I know of these examples as well.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think that, you see, culture prevails.
Yes.
And I think we need to work around the culture. And I am not bitter. I am very happy with the way things turned out. But I think that if somebody wants to make their lives meaningful, they can make it meaningful. I made it meaningful at 40 years of my life, right?
Yes.
I did my BA at 40 and now I'm 65. Okay. So the problem is you cannot be blaming external factors for your own incapacities.
Yes.
I don't agree with that at all. I think it's the kind of culture that is surrounds us and we cannot do much about it. So we need to make our girls confident. We need to make our girls and give equal opportunities to both boys and girls. But saying this and doing this are two different things.
Yes.
Okay. Both my sons, we sent them abroad to study. But both my girls, you know, what happened to me, I did the same with my own daughters.
Why was that so?
So that was because I felt that whatever my parents had done was fine. It was
Yeah.
okay. So the first good proposal came for my eldest daughter. She was just 18. At that time, her CNIC wasn't made up. And after we waited for that, and then the nikah happened. And then she went to London. The second daughter, again, the same. So what I'm saying is that, you know, I think talking about, you know, parents don't want this or parents don't want, if and every parent want success for all their children. I don't believe
Yes.
that parents of girls will not want the girls to succeed or parents of boys would want only the boys to succeed. No, that's not the case.
Yeah.
Parents will be parents everywhere. They will want all their children to succeed. It's just the kind of culture we are entrenched in that parents have to take these decisions.
Yes. It's more like they want you to fulfill their dreams, which they couldn't.
I,
Sometimes. Not always,
again,
obviously.
it's generalization.
Yeah.
I think parents just dream. I am a parent, so I'm saying it
Yeah.
the way I feel and the way I know my parents did at that time. They just dream for their children to become successful, no matter what, regardless. They're good homemakers, they're happy. They're good housewives, happy. Good mothers, happy.
True.
So I think we cannot label, we cannot generalize. But
Okay.
generally, the only thing that I feel is a girl in Pakistan turning 20, 21, everyone expects that that girl should get married. Now, I'm not saying that's right and I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm just saying that that is an expectation
Yes.
of the society. Now, if you can go beyond that, maybe 25, 26, you do your PhD, you do your masters, you do your doctorate, you do whatever. And many examples are there where girls are successful, they're married, happily married.
Yes.
But generally, the idea is what I'm saying.
That they don't fit in marriages after like being
That is
so
the,
freedom,
yeah, yeah,
getting so much freedom.
yes.
What are cultural stereotypes for professional females, and how do these stereotypes affect females' professional life?
Okay, that's a very interesting question actually.
Yeah.
So I think that in our country, in Pakistan, one thing that I have actually, and I realized this when I started working. Before that, I didn't. It was that children are to be seen and not heard. They cannot question parents
Yes.
or parents' decisions. The minute a child questions a parent's decision, he's likely to be snubbed or she's likely to be snubbed.
Yes.
So parents expect obedience, docility. You just say and do what I tell you to, right? There is no discussion, there is no debate. If I'm saying that you are to get enrolled in a particular program, you must, right?
Yes.
So this obedience, the culture of obedience, this stereotype, you know,
Yeah.
that don't say anything and you better accept what I'm saying as a parent. So that's one. The other thing is, of course, when we keep hearing about glorified homemakers, you know, housewives, mothers who are glorified,
Yeah.
I really do pity those homemakers or housewives because I think they're losing out on so much. Why I say this is that I have led a completely 20 years complete as a housewife and then now 25 years as a housewife and a working person. And now that my kids are all grown up, all gone away, there's no one here with us, only myself and my husband, right? Imagine at this time in my life, I wasn't working.
Yeah.
What would I have done? I would have bothered my children all the time. Why are you not with us? I am alone. I feel lonely. You should be with us. I don't bother. Wherever they are across the globe, they are happy, I'm fine. Every year, once or twice, I go and meet them. They come here, even if it's for 3 weeks, 1 month. Okay? I feel that is such a liberating feeling. So, the stereotype that we have here is women who are made to think that, you know, taking care of a house is a fantastic, very noble cause. Yes, it is. I am doing it now. But there are other things more important than that as well.
We also limit women not to dream and just like focus on homes. What do you think on that?
So I'll go back to my first answer. I think nobody is there to limit if we don't want to limit ourselves.
Yeah.
And nobody can limit me.
Do you think females have tougher time than male colleagues, and do you think that's fair?
I think vice versa. I think females in Pakistan play the victim very well. And I think that men they should get sympathy more than women. I don't think
Why is that so? That's a
this is
totally
just my
different
own,
perspective.
yeah,
Yeah, I
but this
respect
is
it.
my experience that we keep blaming men. I think men wear bigger hats than women. They are breadwinners. In our culture, they have to balance a relationship with their mother and their wife, which is not
Yeah.
easy. I think that one person earning for 10 members is a very difficult job. It's not easy.
Yes.
So I don't think we give men enough credit than they deserve. And I think it's, again, part of our culture, part of our society, but I don't endorse this. I have all my sympathies for men and not much for women.
Yeah, that's true. Sometimes they even get away with like
Yeah.
their work.
So women just play that card, you know, I'm fragile, I'm dainty, I can't, I'm very,
But
men and women are, see, God has created men and women. I I wouldn't say equal,
Yeah.
but I think that both have their parts to play. For me, whatever I'm doing in my life, whatever I've achieved in my life, I think that my husband, my father, they were there by my side, even though my husband had left us at that time. But even that was something which I then, when he came back, I thanked him. And I said, if you had not gone, left us, I would have been in the kitchen. So I discovered myself when you left and you dumped us. That was fine. I could have become bitter. I could have gone back to my parents in Karachi. Never did.
Yeah.
So see, it's very easy to blame the other, but it's very difficult to take the blame yourself. And I think that the minute women in Pakistan start doing it, so don't play that card that women are the victims. No, they have their own role to play. Husbands have their own role to play. Sons have their own role to play, and daughters have their own roles to play. If they play their roles effectively, I think this society will be a much more um, better society.
Yeah.
So for me, my husband is supreme in my household. And he's the one who, maybe I take decisions, but without his consent, I will not take any decision. And I think when that happens, again, you are giving psychological confidence to your children as well, because they see the man of the house as being that supreme person. And there is no harm for me to say that for me, my husband is the man of the house. Even if I am, these days he's retired, I am the only working person at home. But all his life he's worked. So it's not about you being good, I'm being good. It's about working together as a team.
Yeah.
So for me, that's important.
But sometimes you see in organizations when women are going for C-level positions, they're very undermined, and sometimes men are preferred over them, even if they're better in performance.
See, so this is something that we've had a lot of discussion in my friends group and circle. One more, I'm sorry I'm debunking all your
It's okay.
myths, but see, women have their limitations. I agree that most of the women are not preferred over men in leadership positions.
Yes.
ठीक है. And that's across the globe. It's not just in Pakistan. If you see statistics, because a friend of mine's done her research on this particular topic, and she realized that it's across the board, it's across the globe. It's not about this Muslim country or Pakistan or no. But then there are reasons, maybe rightfully or wrongfully, but women, they do get pregnant. They
Yes.
they have to go on maternity leaves. They have their monthly Ps. They have this mood swing.
Yes.
Okay. So if we think that men and women are equal, सबसे पहले तो this um, I think this is a misconception.
It's just like a feminism built
Yeah, I don't
narrative.
agree with this. I think women are very important, equally important. Men are equally important, but they both are different. We cannot compare oranges and apples.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you say men are preferred over women, I don't agree with this. It's not about that. It's about every company's own rationale. And if that the rationale is that somebody who is there for the entire period of time doesn't have to go back home because she's a mother at 7 o'clock or 5 o'clock,
Yeah.
men don't have these issues. Women do. Even if they become CEOs, you see PepsiCo's CEO, she talks about these things all the time. So, and I think wherever there are women who are CEOs or in leadership positions, I think they are better leaders. This I agree,
Yes.
because they are more humane, they have a more motherly instinct, they're more honest than men are. That's my take.
In your opinion, how does the level of family support contribute to the resilience and determination of professional females?
I think it's vice versa. I think women's resilience gets family support. If the woman is resilient, the woman is a somebody who says that I want to do this and I will show you how, she will get family support.
And how do you navigate through workplace challenges through that resilience?
I have a very, very straightforward, you've seen me,
Yeah.
so I don't take any BS from anybody. I'm very assertive, and there are times when I think that I may be wrong. I'm not a somebody who's flawless, right? I have my own
Yeah, true.
weaknesses, but I think that people do appreciate women, especially who have a straight thinking, somebody who's fair, somebody who tries to be or say what is in their mind and not say
Yes.
things which are different from what they're thinking.
Have you observed any generational shifts in families considering supporting females' career choices regarding their professions?
Oh, yes. My own son, uh, he supported my daughter who is in the US. See, my daughter, I'll tell you a small story about my daughter.
Sure.
Youngest daughter, she was studying in a school where I was the vice principal, but that was LGS at that time. So she was always interested in art, never in math. Most of her teachers, always at the PTMs, since she was very young, they told me that your daughter has some learning problem, learning disability. But she kept on, going to the next class and the next. By the time she reached O level, A level, uh, she had a B or a C in other subjects, but always an A plus in art. And then she said that I want to be an artist. In my family, especially, the extended family, um, art is not supposed to be, or it's not accepted, okay, because of its aspect, which is religious. And my daughter, we got her married as well. She liked somebody, and we said, okay, get married and then go to the US.
Yes.
So they both went, and so this daughter, her her in-laws, they were completely against her pursuing art degree, but she got in. And then her in-laws, they said they will not support her financially. My son
Oh,
supported his sister throughout. So that kind of support, I think, has would not have been there when I was young. My
yeah.
brother, I can't imagine him paying my fee,
Yeah.
right? So my son did all 4 years of my daughter's, and she did her BFA from School of Visual Arts in New York with a 4 GPA, and she's working there now as an admission counselor. She has her own art studio in New York.
How do societal and familial expectations limit you?
See, now this is exactly what I've been talking from the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah. That did that stop my daughter from what she was pursuing?
No.
No. She got a divorce. Simple. She said, if you don't accept, and she was in her, I think, seventh, eighth year of marriage. It was a good thing that they hadn't had any kids.
Yeah.
But she said, if you can't accept me like this, and your family cannot accept me being an artist, then I don't think that we should be living together. So she got a divorce. My son, my husband, everyone supported her. No one said, no, don't get a divorce, or what would people think? No.
Yeah. Would it have been different if there was no support for her?
She wouldn't have gotten a divorce.
Yeah. How do family dynamics influence work-life balance? And how have you like made strategies to manage your work and life balance?
I've got my, now though it's like, what, 2008, my kids had left for their studies. So it's been quite a long time now. But since the beginning, I had made sure that my sons did all the washing, cleaning, everything. They learned, helped us around the house. So I think it's very important that when men, women, and my husband does work with me. So he does tea for me in the morning. My morning breakfast, my husband makes for me. Uh, so, and when I go back home, um, so he serves me food, and then I then cook and whatever, and then in the evening, then we both have food together. So I think it's very important that in Pakistan, especially, what women do not do is that we have maids and servants.
Yes.
They do all the work for our kids and for us. I think that's the most debilitating thing because you're making your own children handicapped. So, from the beginning, if you make your children independent and make them work, make them take care of their own stuff, like their wardrobes, their washrooms, their whatever, their dishes, if they are supposed to do it, they grow up doing this, then they will. So I think that now both my daughters-in-laws, they really appreciate me and they said, You've trained your sons really well
Yeah.
because they help around the house, they help with the kids. So,
So nice because that's not how usually the
yeah,
normal
yeah,
thing
yeah,
is.
yeah.
And have you encountered any specific challenges or barriers in your career influenced by cultural norms or familial expectations?
No, never.
That's nice.
Whatever I've decided, I've done, and has not been. Alhamdulillah.
Reflecting on your journey, how do you think your experience can inspire and guide other professional women pursuing, like professional careers in Pakistan?
Why don't I reflect this question back to you? Whatever you've heard just now,
Yeah,
whatever I've said, what do you think you've learned?
I've learned a lot.
Like,
So, first of all, being resilient, then it's not bad to be married early. You can pursue your dreams or whatever career you want to pursue later on as well. And rather than blaming on external factors, it's always you. The intrinsic factors influence your career choice, not the society or family. That's what I learned.
yeah. And if you want to break out of this system, like I did with my sons and my daughters, get them in that loop. Get
Yeah,
them to break away from this system. So you can do it within your own environment. But if you want to, keep on blaming other factors, culture, family system, Pakistan, everything is bad about Pakistan. No, no.
yeah,
It's who is Pakistan? We are Pakistan, right?
yes.
So, whatever we practice, we are going to make that, and that's what we are going to um, find around us. So, the kind of culture, if we want that kind of culture, which is an independent, liberal culture where everyone is treated with respect, first we need to start respecting other people's. Stop
Yes.
having these maids and servants at home. Or if they are there, are you getting them to be educated or their children? So I see 7 year olds, 8 year olds working in homes, and their parents are either professors, lecturers, they are teachers. And in their households, there are children who are young, so that's child labor.
Yeah.
So I think slowly, step by step, if we break out of this culture, and it's not necessarily a very bad culture, we can come out of it. It's just that we are very easygoing people. We love our luxury. We love to enjoy, let others do the dirty stuff. We don't want to dirty our fingers. And that's wrong.
Yeah. How do you think we can break through these cultures and, like
Practice,
society?
do it yourself, and not look at others. Okay, if somebody's doing it. No, I
Yes.
want to do things the way I feel is right. So I got my servant's son. We had a servant and his wife, but his son was, I put him in a school. He's now a metric. I had written a story on him. So he is a very, very intelligent young child, and he's educated, and they are very happy. So I think we need to take responsibility of our
Yes.
surroundings, at least the immediate surroundings.
That's remarkable.
Thank
It
you.
was an honor to interview you.
Oh,
Thank you so
thank you.
much
Thank
for
you. You
taking your
had
time
really
out.
good questions.
Thank you.